Good morning, one year no beer. You'd be mistaken for thinking you just landed on a top tip hair and beauty channel. Just ignore me. I've just been out for a beautiful early morning run. I wouldn't have been doing that 2.5 years ago because I'd have been not hungover, because I was proud of the fact that I didn't really get hangovers. But obviously when you've got alcohol in your system 5-6 days a week, copious amounts, you're running life constantly under par. So today, as I'm loving reading all your comments and seeing all the different experiences that you're having, it's just fascinating, and it just shows that everybody's different. There is no right or wrong. There is no one way to do it. So just remember that. So don't compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 22. You know, you can use it for inspiration. Don't use it to get pissed off if somebody's smashing it and you're Mr. and Mrs. Reset. Doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. It's just what you're doing, you know, but use the ones who seem to be smashing it for inspiration rather than it pissing you off. Because if it does piss you off, it's just because it's touching a nerve with you. It's not because they're being smug gets. That's my experience anyway. But yes, what is it you think you're missing? What is it you think you're missing? That's what I often used to say to myself. And you just assume you're missing it. You really miss, you know, oh, I miss having a drink. And then you start, that voice in your head starts. It could be a sunny Sunday afternoon when everybody's going to the beer garden and you don't really want to go, because what's the point when you have 17 tonic waters, you know, and you think, oh, I really miss it. Oh, I do. And I miss this and I miss that. But what you forget to do when you start missing drink, because that's why people reset, because they thought they've missed something. So they go and try it again, you know. So, and really, you know, you haven't missed it because you're still annoyed with yourself for calling it a blip or resetting. But just really think, before you go and have it, think, well, what is it you are actually missing? I still miss drinking. Now, I'm not like Andy and I'm not like Rory. I'm sort of in between them, you know. So I love having the fact that they're both different. Andy's like, good grief, you know, Mr. Never Drink Again. And Rory's a moderator. But I don't know what I am. I just don't drink at the moment. But I've not said never. I don't know. If I really, really want to drink, I'll have one. I can't remember what day I'm on now. Well, I know it's 1,000 days on Sunday. If I really, really, really want to drink, I will have one. But there's not been a time yet that I've wanted it enough. There was in the early days, in the first month or two, I've desperately wanted it, but because I was in a challenge and committed, I wouldn't have it. But when you come out of the realms of the challenge, it gets a bit trickier, I think, or easier, depending how you look at it. But that's a whole other different video, which somebody asked if I'd do. But and I will cover that, because it's something that affects me a lot still, even now. But yeah, nearly 1,000 days in, and I still get times where I miss drinking. What do I miss about it, or what do I think I miss about it? I miss the anticipation of it probably more than anything. Even now, it's what day are we on? It's a Tuesday, I think. Say if I was going out at the weekend and, rugby's, England are playing, aren't they? Cannot wait. England are playing in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. I'd be excited now because we will probably have people round. Although I wouldn't probably drink this weekend because I'm working, but although I probably would if it was a rugby match. And I'd be excited, people around, or what should I do? I might do bacon butters at half time, get people round, and I didn't drink Prosecco when I did rugby. I just used to drink pints, cans of Strongbow. And I'd be looking forward to that. I'd be looking forward to it. I'd look forward to the anticipation of it. I look forward to a right raucous being an arsehole sometimes. Sometimes I do miss being an absolute arsehole when I was drunk and not giving a shit. I miss the fact that you can blank out any crap that you're going through, or if you're feeling, you can numb your emotions. I miss the ability to be able to do that sometimes, you know. And sometimes I miss just not having to feel like I'm missing out, you know, and that's after 1,000 days. So I'm just being honest, you know. You ask Andy, he might not agree with any of that, but that's Andy's experience. There's no two people the same probably, so I can only tell you mine. So sometimes I do miss all that. What don't I miss about drinking? Oh my goodness, I can't even begin the list. I am really proud. I'm proud that I don't drink. I really am. I've never been one to stealth drink. I've never been one, even from the very beginning, I decided I was out and proud. What are you doing? I'm doing a challenge with 1 year no beer. And that's why I loved 1 year no beer again, because it took any shame or embarrassment away. I'm just doing a challenge with 1 year no beer. Who were they? Check them out, And so when I went out, I didn't try and disguise it. I was having a tonic water, I was having a Diet Coke, I was just having tap water. Yeah, and you get all the crap and stuff. I don't miss that about, I don't miss that about not drinking. People giving you grief, they get used to it after a while. When you go out, oh, you should have a drink and you should have that. So because I was confident in my decision, instead of going, oh no, I'm just drinking thing. And I was just honest, I'm just doing a challenge. And it was great that, but the things I don't miss about drinking, I don't miss the anxiety, funnily enough, that it used to create. Like when I went out for a meal, and if the waitress put the menus down on the table and walked off without saying, what do you want to drink? I wanted to pull her back by a ponytail. Excuse me, can I have a drink? Because I get angry, I'd want a drink before I even start looking at the menu. I get snappy and snippy with Simon and the children because I wanted a drink. I hated the fact that when I was in a restaurant and I had that much left in my large wine, I'd be already thinking, right, oh, I look a bit greedy, but I don't care because I want another drink and I don't want to risk having to wait 20 minutes in case the waitress forgets. So I'll ask, well, I still had a third of, can I have another glass of wine, please? And then the release I felt when it came to the table in time. So I hate it. I don't miss that one bit. I don't miss going out more. I used to, even when we were skint, if we did get a bit of cash, I'd think, right, let's go out for a bit of tea on a Sunday night. Let's go and find a meal deal somewhere just so I could have a drink that didn't look like I was drinking on my own at home. I don't miss that. I don't miss having to really gauge my drinking in front of people, at a party, being the last to leave. And the bloke I thought might have been a knobhead at the beginning of the night, I couldn't care. He was my best mate at the end of the night. If he was a drinker, he would still be there at the end talking rubbish that I wouldn't remember. I don't miss any of that. I do not miss the talking crap. I do not miss that feeling in the morning when I get up. And again, I thought, oh my God, I did it again. I drank a bottle and a half of wine. Sally, what are you doing to yourself? And I started to panic what I was doing to me insides. And, but then I'd be drinking again that night. That'd soon be forgotten because the desire to want to drink always won out. So I don't miss that. I don't miss the constant arguments in my head. I don't miss the mornings of going, oh my God, what did I say last night? I don't miss getting up in the morning and not being able to remember what I'd shouted at Simon about. I remember sometimes I used to wake up in the morning, we'd had a big row the night before because I'd turned into an arsehole, pick, because I was drinking, just getting picky and snippy and creating an argument. I remember having a big row and I'd storm off to bed and I'd wake up and I'd think, right, oh, shit, we had an argument last night. And I felt all right, but I thought I'll have to not speak to him because I know we had an argument. It's a nonsense. I don't miss the shame. I don't miss the guilt. I don't miss any of it, really, and the stuff I miss far outweighs, and I just feel so much freer now. And of course, there are still little things I miss. There was one literally just in this summer, we'd come back from work. We'd been working in Portugal and we'd come back and it was a beautiful sunny day and it was a Saturday. We got back on a Saturday lunchtime and I remember the garden needed attention because we'd been away for a week and a half. So I was deadheading all the stuff and it was a Saturday afternoon going into Saturday evening and I was watering the pots and I was deadheading and the neighbours who we don't know over diagonally at the back were having a big barbecue and the music was going. That was fine. And I got this overwhelming want to have alcohol, and this was literally, I'm nearly 1,000 days in, and this was just a couple of months ago. And I just said to Sam, I just got a cob on. I got right pissed off with myself. I thought, sick of it, Sam. I just want a drink. I just want to drink. And it wasn't the drink that I wanted, because if I'd have been drinking, I'd have probably arranged, if I knew the weather was going to be nice, I'd have probably arranged to go and do something, to go and see friends, to go and, but because I'm not drinking, I don't tend to do that as much. And that's something I'm still working on, that I don't go out as much. And I'm still working on that. So that's still a work in progress. But for about an hour, and usually it passes after 5 minutes, but an hour later, and I could hear them all having a laugh and the music going, and I felt like Billy No Mates. And and literally after about an hour, and I went out later on, and we sat outside now having a seed lip and tonic, living life by the seat in my alcohol-free pants. And the sunset was stunning. I was just chatting to Sam. I felt really at peace. And then I could hear the tone of this party change, and the people's voices change, and the shit that they started spouting. I love you. Do you have I ever said I love you? I really do love you, mate. You know, and I just thought, oh my God, there it goes. That was me. What a knobhead. I'm not judging them because they're probably a very nice knobhead. And for me, that's a term of endearment anyway. But being an absolute... And then it went on till about 2 a.m. I could hear him when I was in bed. And I just thought, they won't remember any of that. And I felt just, oh my God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I don't drink. I'm so proud of myself. But for that hour, I really struggled. But I always know it passes. And this, again, I cannot stress enough. If you keep resetting after a week, and if you keep resetting every time it feels a bit difficult, you're never going to build that muscle of resilience, of learning. You're never going to get the learning. You're never going to get the realisation. So if you keep resetting, you are absolutely depriving yourself of those learnings. And honestly, you watch back through all my old videos and you will see. And I remember once I did a video. Do you know what? I could talk for bloody hours about this. I really could. I could. It's been a long time to cover, so it's 11 minutes, so it won't be much longer. I promise. I remember once I was 8 months in, I think, 7 months in, and it was August. And I had my first family holiday sort of. We then went down to Padstow, and we just went camping and then stopped in this little cottage. And I remember it was horrific because I so wanted a drink. That was 8 months into my challenge. I knew I wouldn't have a drink, so I'd committed. I'd made that decision, and that is the difference. If I hadn't made that decision, I was still fanning about going, oh, I'll see how it goes. I'll hope I'll do it. Hope, I'll see, I'll try. Get those out of your vocabulary right now because they're not going to serve you. Never mind hope and see and I'll try my best. They can do one. You just make a decision and do. Sorry, really, I feel so passionately about it because I know that if I'd have tried my best and hoped and seen, I wouldn't be here 1,000 days into my experience. I really wouldn't. And I know when I went to Padstow, I got there about 4 o'clock. It was a sunny afternoon. There was 2 women drinking in Padstow Harbour with a bottle of Prosecco. And literally, I wanted to go up and I wanted to piss in the glasses. Because I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody with my language, but I felt that strongly. I wanted to get the bottle and just smash it because I was so jealous, so envious that I couldn't do that. And I couldn't do it because I'd set myself this challenge. I was annoyed at myself that I'd put myself in this bloody position, having to do a challenge with 1 year no beer. I was annoyed with myself. Why couldn't I just drink like them? Why did I have to feel I had to stop drinking? Why did I have to sit in that airport toilet and you know, poured wine into my Appletize bottle? Why did I ever let myself get that bad? You know, but it's all part of the learning. And I remember I had a shit night. We went to Rick Stein's and I just went home to bed about bloody 9:30 and it was crap, drinking water. And I had a right cob on. And the first night of that holiday was shit because I was thinking I was missing it and it was crap. Now, I could have gone through my whole experience like that, but I woke up the next day, had a word with myself, chuffed to bits, then had an amazing holiday. But I remember going, I had to get in the car and I went down to Constantine Bay and it was pissing it down that morning. It was the morning after and I was just in bits. And this is why I really used 1 year no beer. And I remember doing a video on it and it'll be on here somewhere. And I remember, man, they're all on YouTube, but I remember sitting in Constantine Bay car park, crying my head off, going, I hate this alcohol-free stuff, and this is to 1 year no beer. So I really wanted a drink and I can't have one, and I can't do my lives like this in front of Simon. So it was raining, he had to sit on a boulder outside the car in the pouring rain while I sat in the car with my phone on the dashboard crying to 1 year no beer, you know, looking for support, and they just supported in droves. And I'll never, ever, ever forget, Andy did a video for me and it was just lovely. And I got through it. It passed. I had a great holiday and it was a learning. It was an absolute learning. So all I'm saying to you is when it gets tough, embrace it. See it as a learning. Don't see it as a thing to piss you off with. See it as a learning, whether you're on day 2, whether you're on day 22 or 222. Don't know why I'm choosing the 2s. See it as a learning, honestly, because they will keep on coming. But every time it happens, it gets easier and easier, apart from 2 months ago when I really wanted to. I felt a bit like that when I was in Padstow. I did. But it happens and I accept it. But it's not worth going back for. So that 15 minutes, that's my record. Well, it's not my actual record. I've spoken for a lot longer in the past on some of them, but on this particular series it is. So switch, you don't have to watch them. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but I just want you to do it. And do you know what I'm loving? I'm loving seeing people, because it really helped me in the early days, seeing people just thinking, do you know what, I am going to do it, because I know what you've got to look forward to, and all the people like me who've done it like I have know what you've got to look forward to, and I don't want to see you reset. You know, the people who have done it don't want to see you keep resetting. But if you reset, you reset. Don't feel bad. Just crack on and have another go. But think about it differently. Don't mope around having a bitch and a moan to yourself about something that you don't want anyway. Because talk yourself through that logic. It doesn't make any sense. You're moaning and getting depressed and fed up. I don't mean proper depressed there. But you're mourning something that you think you want. But you don't even want it. So don't have it. And if you do have it, and enjoy it and come back in a year's time, you know, when you're ready. But just honestly, when it gets tough, that's the learning. So seize it with both hands and just think, right, what am I going to learn? Right, I'm off. I've got to get some work done. Nearly 17 minutes. That's going to take ages to upload. Probably won't be on till tonight. So have a great, great day. And just ask yourself, what is it you are really missing? Or really, what is it do you think you're really missing? Because it's all bollocks. All right then, ta-ra.